Guess what?
What?
We're live.
Oh boy. Hi.
All right. Yeah. Hey, good morning. Hey, James Castelli here with you. And with me, look at this beautiful lady that I have the pleasure of sitting next to this morning. She is absolutely amazing. My honored guest this morning, Kim, thank you very much for joining me this morning. And you are looking absolutely stunning and fantastic. You've been in Red Deer, you've been over in Calgary, and you've been doing these things that involve these pipes and everything that you've created in your body. What have you been doing?
Well, actually, I have to give credit to my coach, Justin Wilson at Impact Nutrition. And yeah, he works me hard. No mercy. So you are, now I want to make sure I get this right. You're not a bodybuilder. No.
What do you call what you do?
The one that I compete in is called Figure. So there's a couple different divisions for the women. There's bikini, fitness, figure, physique, then bodybuilding. So Figure's still ladylike. It's not too big or too small.
Yeah. So for those who are kind of following along, if you're not connected with Kim on Facebook, you're in your mid 40s, if we can say that right.
40. I turned 46 in the end of April. So
just turned 46, and here's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the program. For all of us people that are getting a little bit older, and same thing, we had Karen and Alexandra on last week, and another stunning and amazing person. You take fitness and all the things that you do there kind of to that next level, where you're working out, you're working with Justin at Impact, and you've sculpted your body into this amazing lean physique that takes an incredible amount of focus, takes an incredible amount of discipline, and you've made this happen. Why on earth would you do that to yourself? I mean, it looks fantastic, but the program's all about motivation and everything. Why would you seek to create that for yourself?
Well, I do have a little story about this. So I was in the grocery store feeling kind of blah about myself and, overweight and stuff when I was 40 then. I was looking at one of those Oxygen magazines, and I was like, wow, these girls look amazing and wish I could do that. And then, just started reading about it and stuff, and then I found out about Impact Nutrition and went and talked to Justin, and when I was 40. And he told me what to expect in this and that, and I knew I'd have to be very committed, and it's a commitment to yourself, first of all. You can't do it for anyone else but yourself.
Yeah.
And, and then 6 months down the road, he emailed me, hey, you still interested in doing this? And I'm like, yeah, I'll get back to you when I'm ready. So literally it took me a year to decide and to make room to put this in my schedule, because I work and everything too. And then when I was 41, I did my first competition. I had about 2.5 months to prepare for it because I started late. By the time I told him I wanted to do it, but I made it. And my very first competition I did fit, and I crossed over to figure because I wasn't sure which category I belonged in. I had a six-pack, first time ever at age 41. And I was hooked. I just loved it, and the women were awesome, like all the competitors I met, and it was really amazing. Like I didn't think I could do it, but I just trusted in my coach, and he got me to the stage. So I find it really interesting though. You talk about the different categories. So you in Calgary. Now, what's the difference between the different competitions you do? Walk me through the first one in Red Deer, and then walk me Calgary.
through.
They're both in Calgary.
Oh, they're both in Calgary?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So the very first one that you did 2 weeks ago, and then this one this past weekend. Okay. What's the difference between the two?
It's just different federations from different, it's just two different, companies, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, everybody has their preference, what they like to do. I did both because they were, about a week apart. So I thought since I'm already leaned out, might as well do the other one. So yeah, they're kind of the same idea, just different judges, or So the one I just did recently now was IMBF, and I got my pro card in that one. That took me 5 years to get it. So
wow. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's great. And then so that opens up the door to go to Toronto?
Well, yeah, like you can, once you get your pro card with INBF, then you go to their sister federation, which is WNBF. So I'm actually I wasn't planning on competing. I was going to take a year off after this and just kind of, focus and whatnot. And, but yeah, because I won the pro division, because I also had to beat out tall too, because they kind of have like a pose off, so I got the pro card in the INBF, and they gave me free entry to compete October the 20th, I believe it is, in Edmonton. So it's going to be a whole different ball game for me, and I'm excited. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. I talked to Justin about it and asked him what he thought, because that's kind of hard on your body going from the show into like about 4 months into another one, especially at my age, apparently. And so we talked about it, and he's just like, you can do it, but you're going to have to be really disciplined. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go again.
When you talk about it being hard on the body, I mean, I think this is amazing. Can you just turn it, like, just show us the tricep and stuff? Yeah, like, that's unbelievable. Like, if you can't see it on the camera, it's quite impressive. Now,
thank you.
We both know CJ Garner, right? And she's more of a bodybuilder type, because she's quite a large person.
Right.
Even for yourself. And how tall are you?
5'2".
5'2".
Yeah. 5'1.5", but
yeah,
5'2".
yeah. So you see her on stage, you're wearing these huge stilettos and stuff like that. But really, your physique you're quite lean, quite cut. When they talk about, it's not really healthy for you at this stage of the game. What do they mean? Is it because you got carbs, or what?
Well, as you get older, your body doesn't respond as fast as when you're younger. Like, I've noticed difference since I was like 41 to 46 now. It's like, it's just trying to lean out. I don't lean out as quick as I used to, makes a difference. It's now being hard on your body. It's not really hard. It's just you want to eat junk food at times, and you can't do that, right?
Yeah. And we talk about that, like I talk about that all the time, because I'm an advocate of a keto way of eating. Just because I see the damage that we talk about, the junk food, the carbs and everything, we see the damage that does to people. Adult onset diabetes, for example. You go to the golf course and you see all the guys with the big Buddha bellies and stuff like that. And then, of course, you're kind of on the opposite spectrum to that.
Right.
And so I look at it and go, is it really hard on the body? Your body doesn't adjust as much. But I think it's almost better to be, if you've got the discipline, to be this way than the other way, not doing anything.
Oh, absolutely. It's hard being overweight. I mean, I've been overweight before, and I remember like huffing and puffing going upstairs. And I'm thinking, geez, I'm not that old. And that was back in my, early 30s, and because I put on some weight back then, and it was like, oh, I better do something. It's actually harder to be overweight than it is to be fit,
Yeah.
And, and when I say it's hard on your body, I don't really mean, it's probably not so much physically hard, it's more mentally than anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm not starving, that's for sure. I get 5 meals a day during competition or when I'm like training for a competition. And if anything, there's almost too much food. There's times where I'm like, oh, I can't get my 5th meal in, it's like, and Justin, you didn't hear that, but I ate all my meals, I promise. But it's actually hard. Like, I'm eating and I'm full, and it's not sometimes the things I want to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I want a hamburger that has cheese and loaded with all the good stuff, or fries, or some ice cream, or you have those moments, and then and eventually those cravings pass. Just like it's just like when people try to quit smoking. Sometimes it's like you crave that smoke, and then it passes, and then it's like, okay, I'm good again.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's really a good comparison, but anyway.
Actually, no. It's a really great comparison, because as a therapist, I get that all the time from people going like, we're very conservative. We love to stay the same.
Right.
We love to do the same things over and over again. And of course, clearly, in your work with Justin and getting ready for competition, you are not doing the same thing over and over again.
No.
You're not doing what you did in your 30s.
Right.
Now, I think I've known you for probably 20, 25 years,
Yeah.
right? I don't ever remember you being, in my mind anyway, I mean, you've always been this beautiful, wonderful person,
Thank you.
and generally a blonde.
Yeah, brunette.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
thought?
Yeah. So that's my recollection of you, and so when I saw that you were, because when we worked out at the same gym,
Mm-hmm.
I would see you and I go like, okay, yeah, there's Kimmy, she's getting ready for competition, because you could tell, right?
Yeah.
And I would look at that and go like, yeah, well, that's fantastic. Like, boy, oh boy, that's amazing. But now as I look back on it, I go, okay, that's a phenomenal journey. Like, really, what drives it from looking at that magazine, the Oxygen magazine, and saying, I'd like to do that. What is the ghost in the machine that drives it forward? What is it about Kim that makes her want to go that extra distance? Is it just because also in your business life, your personal life, you're a very successful person, right? Because you do mortgages,
Yeah.
right? And recently married,
Yeah.
not so long ago.
Yeah.
So you've got this, and you made a post on Facebook about this partner that just loves you and supports you.
Yeah.
You bring it all together. You've got everything. Why do this challenging thing?
Well, it's just me. Like I like challenging myself. I don't know. Maybe I get bored easy.
Yeah.
And I like to always kind of keep myself going. And I like to challenge myself. I like to see what I can do. And if I fail, then it makes me work even harder. Like when I said it took 5 years to technically get my pro card. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got a pro card before from IDFA or IDFA. Yeah, IDFA.
All the little
But-
things, all these
yeah.
little names and
Yeah, they're confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really like the INBF, and that was my goal to get that one. And that one's very hard. There's like 7 judges, and they're from the states: Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, and it's a really class act. So, I really wanted to get my pro card in that one. And the girls are more conditioned, and just it's a little bit. Sometimes I think it's a little bit more advanced type of competition with that one because there's no novice. You just go right into open.
Yeah.
So I'm going up against all kinds of different girls. You never know what you're going up against. And so that was my goal to get that. And I always wanted a 6-pack and see if I could do it. And what kept me going too is that I knew I was going to be on stage because I committed to this. And I thought, well, now I have to commit because
Yeah.
I don't want to look bad on stage, right, and whatnot. So, you kind of like when you have goals and you have deadlines to meet, you'll get it done. Trust me.
Yeah.
And when you have a good coach too, that's on you, like Kim. It's like he definitely makes you accountable for your actions too.
Yeah.
And he doesn't sugarcoat anything, which is good. That's what I need. I need somebody that, this way it is, suck it up, keep going, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, and don't get me wrong, he's not mean or anything. He's just, he pushes you through.
He's a force to be reckoned with.
Yes, and he's awesome at what he does. I just think the world of him, and
Yeah.
I really I'm glad I found him. I actually didn't know anything about Justin until I went to because I did some research on this, because I like to know what I'm getting into. I went to a show, didn't know anything about competing or fitness in Calgary, and I was looking at the girls that were on stage, and I'm like, wow, she looks amazing. She looks amazing. That one looks amazing. And it all happened to be Justin Wilson's girls that were competing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta find out who this Justin Wilson is, and I want him for my coach, right? Happens to be he's in Lethbridge. Had no idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, so finally when I met him, I was like, oh, you're a big guy. Like
He's like 6'5" or something.
I don't know, he's big.
Yeah, he's big. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Very tall and
Yeah.
he's very impressive
Yeah,
stature.
he likes intimidating, but he's a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
So anyways, so that was great. That worked in my favor that he's here in Lethbridge and stuff, and so yeah, that's and just having the right people to motivate you too. Like I'm lucky, my husband is very encouraging and supportive in so many ways. Some women don't have that,
Yeah.
and which is kind of sad because it puts more stress on the relationship, on them, on their goals. So yeah, I've never had that problem. He's awesome, my husband. So can't complain there. I also was in the auction magazine for 2015 February. My husband put a picture of me in.
Yeah.
And it was in the Rising Star, and I was the oldest one in there back then, even.
Yeah.
and they had a bunch of other women from the States, but I got to represent Lethbridge,
Yeah.
Alberta,
Nice.
down there.
You know, this is, I mean, really, it's incredible when you think about this, because, like you said, you're 46, you just turned 46,
Mm-hmm.
and at the age of 40, you're redefining your life. And I think a lot of people, when they're looking at this, they think, you know, well, I'm getting older, it has to be this, it has to be that. But I find it's our mental attitude towards what we do and how we're going to do it. It gets better with age.
Yeah, and you know what? You feel young too. It keeps you young. Like I like that. Like I still feel like I'm 16, or and except though sometimes I don't move like a 16-year-old.
Yeah, well, and you know, you're right. It's definitely different, but you're mentally, you've got the fortitude to kind of move through it. I'm just amazed how you balance your personal life, love life, work life with this, because you have a substantial investment of time.
It's like a part-time job, but when you're competing, once you decide you're going to do a competition, you got to start training for it, and I mean, I'm a pretty sociable person too. Like, I mean, I don't sit at home and just focus on working, with my job and then working out all the time. Like a lot of people think, oh, how much do you spend in the gym? It's like, well, not that much really. It's maybe 4 days a week. Have weekends off usually. It's just. You just have to be disciplined what you're eating, and you can't be out drinking with your friends and all that. And I still go out to, lounges or pubs with my friends, or to party events. And yeah, I'm, even though I'm in competition mode or whatever, I just don't drink. I have water or a Diet Coke or something, and and I watch what I eat. And you can still be sociable with this lifestyle. You just have to think ahead of time what you're going to do and what you need or eat before you go. Yeah, it's all planning. Once you have a plan, it's pretty hard to fail, and as long as you stick to that plan too, right? So, anyone can do this.
Yeah. I
mean, I get women that come up to me all the time in the gym or in the mall or whatever, and like, how do you do this? And I'm just like, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And I've encouraged lots of women. I've encouraged women that got into competition just by giving that push. When you encourage somebody, it gives so much power to the other person too.
Yeah.
And it's nice to help someone, or to encourage them and let them know they can do it. Because if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Well,
trust me.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the program too, is because I know that there are, like we've said, there are a lot of women out there that they don't know they have that potential. There are a lot of people out there that don't know they have the potential to, and it's not just about reshaping your body. It's not just about looking like eye candy, for example, at
Right.
46.
Right.
And I mean you look fantastic, but
Thank you.
to me you've always been a beautiful person.
Aw, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're so sweet.
And well, no, not really, but thanks. But the big thing for me is you've already got what it takes. You've already got this amazing life, and then you do something. I call it the and then some, and I got that from a motivational speaker by the name of Rex Crane. And then some. You represent the and then some, and I watched as you went through these competitions, and I thought, I've got to have Kim on the program, because she's got the and then some, and there's so many people out there, so many, I think, young women, young men, older women, older men, who are at that stage in life where they just don't know, they don't think they can do it, and when you share what you share, people move from going like, oh well, easy for her to do it, she's got the discipline. We're all human.
Yeah.
And yes, the focus, it's symptomatic of success in certain areas, but I think it's something that we can all have.
Absolutely. There's women that are competing that are 50 to 60. One of the ladies that I just competed with, she was 60 years old.
Wow.
She was beautiful, and I mean, what a body, and I think it might have been her first competition too, like
At 60.
60 years old, and she was amazing, and so anyone can do this. Like it's just you just gotta want to do it if that's what you want to do, or whatever your interest is. Like you can do it.
You do it for you.
Yeah, it's for you. You can't do it for a guy that you like, or you can't do it for to impress somebody. You have to do it for you. Because you will succeed, and you got to have some passion for it too. Like you have to have the passion to do it too. Otherwise, if there's no passion, it's pretty hard to do something that you're not really into. Then so that's why I always say you have to do it for you. But yeah, it's a good feeling to be able to accomplish something, and it's like I said, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people underestimate me. They're like, oh, well, you're what, 20, 30 something? And it's like, well, no, actually I'm old enough to probably be your mom, And then they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, I'm 46. And they're like, you're 46 and you're competing against 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds and, people my age. And it's like, well, yeah, so, you can't judge a person, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you just...
Although we're very good at doing that.
I know. People just automatically say, oh, it must be nice because you're young. It's like, well, no, I'm actually the same age or older than you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, and people just assume, and then they don't know what to say after that. It's, so... And it's so negative. It's such a negative way of thinking right away when you hear people say that, because they're giving you a compliment, but at the same time they're knocking themselves, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, why do that? You're just beating yourself up, and you already said that you lost, like in anything that you're going to pursue, especially say in fitness or something.
Yeah.
And that's not true. Like I said, I never thought I could do it, and then I just thought, what, I'm just going to try it and see what happens.
You connect with the right people, and that's the big thing. Yeah,
it's
have the support. You mentioned something else too, and I'm a big supporter of Harbour House, and I'm looking forward to having some of their staff on the program. We're just kind of ironing out the details of, because organizations like Harbour House, they're so important, and yet when we go to talk and share, we really have to define how we're going to do this presentation and everything. But what I like what you said was, a lot of times people don't have those people in their corner.
Yeah.
Women don't have the support of the men they need to have the support from. Men don't have the support of the women. Mm-hmm. And you've found that right guy. Mm-hmm. And most importantly of all, though, you've got yourself. How important does your confidence, your indomitable spirit, how important is that in this journey, in knowing you do it for yourself, and even when it's, when you get to that crunch time, you go like, oh, I'm not coming in as fast as I want to come in, or I'm not leaning out as fast. How important is that confidence?
Oh, very. It's there's times where I'm not feeling mentally good. I'm getting tired because it's getting closer to competition, and I kind of start to feel like I'm ready to throw in the towel. It happens, right? Mm-hmm. And then my husband will step in, and I'm very blessed because Darren is awesome, and he'll be like, hey, what's going on? You're not, you don't seem very cheerful today. I'm like, oh, I'm just having a bad day. And he's like, well, try to hang in there. It's just another week or two to go, and cause that's usually when it starts getting tough. Mm-hmm. And he'll push me, right?
Yeah.
And he'll push me while he's eating a bag of chips.
Well, because you guys are very different people.
We are. We're totally opposite, me and him, and that's probably what makes it work. I mean, I've dated guys that are a lot like me, and I've dated guys that are more quiet, and Darren's on the quiet side, but
mm-hmm.
When he has something to say, I listen up, and because it's always something good, right?
Yeah.
And he's always encouraging, and he's very giving. He's not a selfish person, because some partners, you'll see them where they kind of will almost encourage their spouse or what girlfriend or whatever to quit because they're insecure, because people don't like change.
Yeah.
And especially the partner, when you go into something like this new, it scares them, and it's like, wait a second, what are you doing? Why are we changing this situation here of our relationship? Because then they're worried that, oh, she might meet some guys, or there's going to be these bodybuilder guys there, and trust me, that's the last thing on your mind when you're so depleted and you're ready to do competition. You're like, whatever. It's like, I just want to eat some cheesecake right now. That's your fantasy right now, is food, right? But yeah, so I mean, you do have to be with the right people, and not just with. I'm not just talking like with men, like in a relationship. even with friends, you know, like there's some girlfriends that I'm not friends with anymore because they weren't supportive to me, and you know, you really find out who your true friends are sometimes. You know, it really shows a different color of friendship, of, you know, who's supporting, who doesn't, which is really sad, because sometimes, like, some of the people I thought were my really good friends, they weren't.
There's a lot of jealousy.
There is.
And it really, it's a reflection of like the confidence that people have, and
their own insecurities.
Yeah, and you know, I think the other thing that I really like about this, and what you're sharing, is that this is a great reality check. If you're watching this and you're looking at Kim, for example, and you're saying, oh, well, you know, that's good for her, or you're really jealous, that's more reflection on yourself. Find a way to change that. Find a way to get that confidence. And even if you're in a relationship and you find that your partner is in one of these competitions, but you find yourself being jealous and mad and everything like that, make a change. Get the help you need, because your negativity and your jealousy, that's gonna tear that relationship apart.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
You know, and I'm lucky that he's not like that, you know, like he's very supportive and stuff, and that's great. And I got some excellent friends that are so supportive and you know, and encourage me and cheer me on, and you know, and they're so considerate. They'll think, oh, Kim, you know, we're all going out with the girls, and what restaurant, you know, can you eat at?
Yeah. What restaurant can you eat at?
And I'm just like, oh, don't plan around me. Just, you know, I'll make it work. Don't worry, you know. And you know, but that's true friendship, when they literally think about you too, and they go out of their way to try to, you know, make it work for you too. And not that I would ever ask them to do that. I just, you know, it's not their problem. This and it's not like a problem, but it's like I will adjust too, right? Like.
Yeah.
But it's nice that you have support like that, and I just kind of giggle when I hear my friends, oh, well, you know, are you going to be okay? Can you eat here? Or can you know, it's like I never even thought of it.
That's great support. And, you know, I even just following you on Facebook, you've got a lot of followers there. I noticed that, you know, it's always just amazing support.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. And I think, you know, for those of us sitting on the sidelines, I mean, I've worked with my share of competitors like you, just getting the cognitive aspect of it, you know, in line and moving forward. I think support is so important, because I remember when I used to work out at a fitness club, standing there and looking at what I call the brat pack of all these women who were all very, very elite. They were getting ready for competition or whatever, and every single one of them, very much like yourself, driven, focused, but you could see everyone almost push back and move away, and guys especially would look at them and go like, oh, we can't talk to those guys, they're, you know, stuck up or whatever. No, they're moms, they're wives, they're girlfriends, they're people that just have a vision for themselves, and they just want something more. They just want that and then some.
Well, and like none of us bite. Like, you can come up and talk to any competitor or person that, you know, is obviously, you know, if they're competing, because of the way they lean out and stuff, they don't look like the average gym person. Yeah. And trust me, when we're on off season, we don't look like that 24/7. Like, you know, I'll usually I put on more weight because I'm trying to build more muscle and stuff. So, you know, I definitely don't look as lean. But I mean, sometimes I get women that saw my journey when I first started, and they're like, "How did you do that?" Like, and I didn't know them, but just knew of them from the gym.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let me tell you. And because, you know, right away I know that this girl's interested, and she's like, well, you know, she's kind of thinking, well, if Kim can do it, you know, maybe I can do it. And it's like, yeah, you can do it, you know. And and I've sent Justin quite a bit of business, by the way.
Yeah. Justin needs to sponsor the program here. And so just we are getting a lot of comments on Facebook. Unfortunately, it's very, very much removed, so we can't actually look at them. We'll look at them later. I will be sure I'll tag Justin and Impact in this, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
I did tag you last night. You saw that.
Yeah.
And is that Linda? Is that your mom?
That's my mom. Hi, Mom. Yeah.
She's a very, very big supporter of yours.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's so good. Like, yeah, my mom's really good that way.
Yeah.
So, so anyways, I just I was just gonna say too that you know, all my Facebook friends, they're so supportive too, and always encouraging me. Some I don't know, some I just became friends with them on Facebook, and And it's just really nice, and I just want to say that I really appreciate all the kind words and support from all my Facebook friends. It really means a lot to me, whether you think so or not. It really does. So I just wanted to say thank you to that.
I love how down to earth and how just how real you are with this, and I wish you the best of success in future competitions. How many more do you think you'll do?
Well, like I said, I wasn't planning on doing another one, but because this went to a different level for me, I'm going to go do the pro show in Edmonton mid-October, so I'll be pretty much training again throughout here. So there goes my summer. I was hoping to have a couple, glasses of wine and
well,
stuff.
when you talk about having a beach body, bikini season, I think you're pretty much going to define that.
Well,
but that said,
Hopefully.
You've got it. I mean, you really walk that fine line, though, right? When you talk about, because you're pretty much you cut the carbs out. You eat lean, high protein. You get.
And that being said, I mean, sometimes people probably think, oh, yuck, why would anyone want to do that? But just so you know, I do get a cheat meal every Saturday, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, which means I can eat whatever I want. Well, not the whole day, though. Sometimes I do, but Justin, you didn't hear that. Okay? I'm going to get in trouble here, just so you know.
No, you'll be fine,
But, so, I mean, you do get cheat meals when you're dieting or competing or whatever. And just so you know, too, Justin doesn't just deal with competitors. He actually, his main business is actually, helping regular people with, normal weight loss type of thing.
Just make a positive change.
Yeah, that's his thing is helping people lose weight actually, and the competitor or the competition side thing is just an added bonus that he does for people that want to compete. So if you are losing weight and you're feeling good about yourself and you want to take it to the next level, by all means do a competition, and Justin will help you out with it. He'll have you ready, and if you aren't stage ready, he won't let you go on. So because he's honest that way, and that's what you're paying him to do. And I really respect that because some trainers will sugarcoat things, and I don't want a trainer that's gonna just say what I want to hear, because I'm paying him or a trainer to tell me what I need to do and how I need to be better and to and bring my A game. So that's the difference between a trainer and somebody that is just if you're just doing regular dieting, that's fine. I mean, he's not hard on you. It's two different kind of categories, right? But I mean, you do get cheat meals and stuff, so it's not like I'm missing out on too much. And when you start eating really healthy too, you actually start to not crave junk food so much, to be honest.
I like what you said though. You're not missing out.
No.
And that's what a lot of people think. Oh, you're doing this. You're missing out on a lot of things. I talked before in the program about creating time, through health, creating time, and creating experiences. I've talked to many people who I don't want to quit smoking because it's so important to me, or I don't want to go on a diet because I like this stuff so much. And they look at every change as restriction, but based on what you said, there's no restriction there. There's all of a sudden all these great things that you're adding into your life.
Yeah.
Being on stage, adding a new dynamic to your relationship, adding a new dynamic to your friendships.
And inspiring people too.
And inspiring people,
look up to you. And by the way, they inspired me back, right? I remember one time when we weren't working out together, but you were at the gym the same time I was, and I was having a rough day, and your cheery smile comes over, and you're like, "Hey Kim, how's it going?" I'm like, "Oh, good, how are you?" And and we're having a conversation, and you said something, I can't remember exactly what it was, but you just lifted my spirits, and it meant a lot
nice. Thank you.
to me because I really needed it at the time. And I know you probably didn't know that, but I remembered that, and it was just you're awesome. It's thanks so much, because I needed that, and you don't know who you're encouraging or who you're helping, but sometimes just being nice and saying something nice and encouraging to someone, whether you kind of know them or not, you don't know what they're going through or what they're struggling with at that time, and it can make a world of difference for that person, and and some people think, oh, well, you're good, you have everything going for you. It's like, well, that's not necessarily true.
But that's the world you created,
yeah.
right? So
that's what people think, right?
Yeah.
Or the illusion they see or whatever. It's not like that. I have difficulties. I have issues. I fail things. That I'm successful in some things. I'm crappy in other things, and I have my moments too.
It's the human experience.
We're all human,
right?
And we all need encouragement and support, really, And like I said, that you did that for me that time, and because I was just having a bad day, and you lifted my spirits, and then my whole day felt so much better. So
well, that's awesome, and I appreciate you saying that too. It's I don't need the validation of somebody telling me that. I'll tell you though, when people give me feedback on Facebook or people like yourself make those comments, it just reinforces the fact that it's great to be positive.
Absolutely.
And it's great to lift people up. Yeah. I've talked about this quite a bit where I've said, I like solution-based thinking. I like positive responses. I like positive input. A lot of times people will be really negative on Facebook. People will criticize all the time. Talking about parking downtown, people are very critical about it. Mm-hmm. Find a solution, or like in Bambi, if you can't say something positive, don't say anything at all. Mm-hmm. We need to build each other up.
Right.
We need to be a positive force in each other's lives, and we need to keep that inspiration going.
Absolutely.
Because it does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think you coming in here today, you are going to be that force of positive influence and making that difference in a lot of people's lives, because you're right, we are all human. Now, maybe we don't all aspire to be as cut or as in great shape as you are. However, we can all benefit by being in shape, by getting active, by building connections.
Yeah.
And by inspiring.
Absolutely. My mom was inspired by me. Thanks, Mom.
Nice.
And she lost some weight. She joined Justin's Impact Nutrition and lost about 17 pounds. My mom's a little bit overweight, and and she has some health issues, so she's not very active or like physically active and stuff because of her knees and whatnot, just her health in general. But she lost weight, and I was looking at her diet plan from Justin. I'm like, man, you get to eat some good stuff here. Like, wish I could eat all this,
Yeah.
And so it's not even like a diet, really. It's just a way of eating better and making better selections with food too.
Yeah.
And so dieting doesn't have to be hard,
No, it doesn't. It's it's just really getting rid of the crap.
Yeah, and it's portion sizing too. Like people eat too much. Like you go to the fast food chains and stuff, right? And you order fries and instead of like even like a small fries, it's like they're huge and they're like large, right? You get
550 calories.
Yeah, and it's like, why? Why do we need? Why is more better? Sometimes less is better, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just portion size. Like I was in Europe a couple years ago, and their portion sizes are really small. It's like, no wonder they're so skinny, But at the same
and
time,
higher fat too.
Yeah,
higher fat, less sugar.
and you feel more full too because they're eating the right kind of foods, right? Mm-hmm. And it's less, so you're more full, and they eat very fresh stuff too. I notice because they don't have the big fridges that we have, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like people just need to learn to make better decisions, really. And it's hard because the marketing that's out there, they're making decisions for us by saying more is better. Like, don't get the large, get the extra large, right? It's like, well, no, because
supersize me.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, why? Because that food's always going to be there tomorrow. If it's not like you have to, pig out and have it all in one day or one sitting, right? It's always going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Unless if it's modern jelly donuts in Calgary, then you have to have it before you go.
I love that. Kim, you know what? Thank you very much for coming on the program. I really appreciate it. You are a true inspiration, and I wish you all the best of luck as you continue moving forward and competing and doing whatever it is you do. I look forward to more of your Facebook posts and things like that. You know what? Keep inspiring people and keep moving forward. Keep being great. And we'll look for more of the wonderful responses. So, what a great thing. Stay inspired today and realize this, no matter what your age is, you can make positive change happen. And this young lady is proof positive right there. We'll have more people like Kim coming on the program and sharing. And as we move forward, just to let you know that, you know what? You have the power to do it. So get out there, stay inspired. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.